Hello, this is a test, and only a test. We're checking to see how things work, how things look, and what we're doing. This is a test. Good morning, I'm Chris Byron. I'm the owner of koala-t Gems, and I wanted to do a little introduction today. I have some gem rough that we were blessed with that we received from the mine from Africa. We have a little bit of Tourmaline and a little bit of Iolite. And if you'll bear with me, give me a few minutes, I'll kind of go over what we look for in the way of rough and what we like to sell and the type and quality material that koala-t Gems is offering to you in the public, and just a little explanation of how we do a little bit of business. Meanwhile, here we go. Okay, first off, we have a little bit of Iolite. Beautiful parcel. Just in. Most of it's pretty much internally flawless. It's a little bit larger in size. What this is generally referred to is, there is a little trade name for it. It's called water Iolite. And it's not a really highly sought after type of material, but it's very pretty, very beautiful. It has colors of amethyst. It is dichroic. It has two separate color planes in it. One purple and one kind of blue. One's purple and one's blue. And it's in the zozite family, I do believe. Tanzanite's in the Tanzanite family. What I'm looking for when I pick a piece of parcel is I'm looking for consistency in color. I'm looking for consistency in quality of material, whether it's internally flawless, whether the material is finely shaped, whether it's well shaped. These are all qualities that are very important to me as a cutter. Iolite does have a cleavage plane in it, so you do have to do orientation of the 35-degree orientation. So when you're also looking, you're also thinking of orientation for cutting purposes, and what kind of stone or what kind of shape you're going to be able to get out of the stone. This is actually pretty high-grade Iolite. It has an awful lot of color to it. I don't know if I can get the color to come through on the camera, but there is actually a lot of purple in this, and it's going to make some beautiful stuff. It has a little bit lower RI in it. I think it's somewhere in the 1.5 area, 1.55, 1.56, somewhere in that vicinity, somewhere similar to quartz. I don't remember the exact. Meanwhile, as I'm looking for this and looking through this material, when you buy a faceted stone, there's an awful lot of pre-work that goes into the material that you see on my website that's already cut. There's many parcels that do not get brought in an inventory, that don't even see the light of day, not in mine, not on my website, because I am absolutely interested in the best quality material. When I say hand select material, I mean it. Out of probably a couple hundred kilos of Iolite, this is probably all there is that I would consider to be gem grade. There's 100 grams here. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get something that is very, very select, very, very hard to find, and very, very rare. Even though it might seem to be a common stone, oh well, there's plenty of that all over. Well, no, there's not. Just because there's plenty of something all over does not mean it manages to manifest or make it up into what I would call the gem grade or select section. This material does. This material at least does make it into the select section. And what I will probably do with this parcel is it'll probably go up onto the website, and we will put the whole parcel up for sale so some other lucky cutter can take part in it. Meanwhile, I have another parcel that I'd like to go over with you. And we also were blessed with a small parcel of tourmaline. Beautiful stuff. It's an orange yellow. Kind of begins to tend to go into the dravite range. It's open axis, even though it's got a dark axis on it. Even though it's got a dark axis on it, it's open axis tourmaline. It does have more inclusions in it, but there are going to be cuttable stones in it. It too is also pretty much, even though it's going to have some inclusions in it, you know, there'll be a good clean cuttable stone in it, it still also gets into the realm of hand select or higher grade or hard to come by. Harder to come by material. Here we go. There's some beautiful pieces in here. I don't know if the camera's going to be able to do a good job of picking this up. This is one open axis. This is the open axis ABC. This is your blocked axis or your dark axis. You can see, I don't know if we can pass light through it or not. Anyways, really beautiful material, and it's a little bit larger. Its average size is, you know, what do we got here? 6.8 millimeter by 10.8 millimeter by 14.5. That'll get you a nice little 810 probably. This will do a nice little rectangle. It's a little bit, it's a little smaller. It's 6.5 by 9 by 17. Here's a nice parcel. That's your dark axis or your blocked axis. Here's your opened axis. While I'm looking to excuse me. While I'm looking to this, I'm also looking for orientation, for stone orientation. I'm looking for cleavage planes. Of course, tourmaline isn't as cleaved as, say, topaz. It does have some structure in it, but it's not. But what I'm actually looking for is the color zoning and the color planes, blocked axis and open axis. Most of the time, what I cut for in tourmaline will be open axis. The block axis I'll put on the side axes or the ends if I have a choice. That way we have a little different color. Tourmaline will meld the color. If you get, like, this is orange, kind of orange yellow or orange brown. I don't know if it's coming through or not. What it'll do is the dichroism in tourmaline will pop up many different colors. If you get it in a good design and you get it cut well, it'll have scalination in color or subtle side effects that most stones won't. It'll pop the orange, or it'll pop the yellow, or it'll pop a little bit of the dravite color, a little bit of brown that's sort of in there, the browny color. And a brilliant design works really well in tourmaline. It's also a pleasure to cut. So, this also falls in the realm of hand select, high grade. Out of all the tourmaline that this man ran through out of the mine, there's 98 grams here. And that's all that's usable. It does have some inclusions in it, but what we'll do is we'll move the stone around such that we can avoid the inclusions so that you get an entirely flawless stone. Which means, although the material's big, it's not going to yield real large stones because we're going to have to orientate it in such a fashion that will move the inclusions out. So they'll not be larger, but they'll be clean. They'll be internally flawless stones here. They'll be small. I know most people don't like small itty bitties, but they like something that's full size, 8, 10, 10, 12, in that arena. There's the block axis. There's your open axis. But this won't yield any of that. But nonetheless, it's orange and yellow, and it is kind of rare. And not easily had. Not easily. Orange and yellow is not easily come by in tourmaline. So here we have it. Meanwhile, I'd like to say thank you very much for taking the time and listening to me. This is Chris Byron. Have a great day.